Hey, and welcome back to another episode of the Knitting Mamas podcast. And today I have a bonus episode for you. We are going to talk about my favorite summer knitting projects for beginners that you can grab and start right now. Let's dive in. Hey there, Mama. Welcome to the Knitting Mamas podcast. If you're a mom who's tired of feeling exhausted and longing for some well-deserved self-care and rest, you are in the right place. I know that finding time for yourself as a busy mom can feel like an impossible puzzle. But guess what? You don't have to compromise anymore. Hi, I'm your host, Nadine Medina, and just like you, I am a mom, wife, and also a happy knitter. Over my 15 years of motherhood, I have been on a journey to discover how to truly recharge without the guilt and the never-ending quest for perfection. The secret? It's all about progress, not perfection. By focusing on simple routines, natural wellness solutions, and the cozy art of knitting, I found the path to feeling whole and content. And on this podcast, I'm sharing it all with you so you can do the same. Are you ready to find simple solutions to set yourself free from mom guilt, to take more time for yourself to truly rest, and to use your knitting skills for a mindful routine that creates space in your life so you can breathe easier? Let's take a deep breath, grab those knitting needles, and say goodbye to mom stress. Together, we'll create a supportive community that encourages you to prioritize self-care while juggling all your responsibilities. Sound good? Let's do this. Hey, and before we dive into my favorite summer knitting projects that are suitable for beginners and that I have either made or have on my list to make, I want to remind you of the new free workbook that I just released last week that you can download on my website at theknittingmamas.com/free workbook. And that will help you free up hours and hours of your time for your creative endeavors. I am so excited to bring this to you because the one thing, or the biggest thing that I keep hearing from the moms in my community is that it's not the fact that they don't want to knit or that they don't know how to, but more so that they don't have the time to do it. And I'm trying to solve that for you because that was my problem too when I first started again to knit. And I figured out some very intentional strategies to make that happen for myself and also to do it in a way that doesn't make me feel guilty, right? Because that's a big thing for us moms where it's like, well, I will take this time, but then I feel like I'm not quite there. I'm not 100% in what I'm doing because I just feel so guilty that I'm not doing something else, that I'm either not doing the housework or that I'm not there for my kids in those moments. And there is ways to overcome that. There's ways to change that. And there's strategies that you can implement today that will help you make that happen for yourself guilt-free. So go ahead, download the workbook. There's a video inside as well. You find the link in the workbook and get it started today. I'm just so excited for you to get that into your hands. And I can't wait to hear what you think once you've worked your way through the workbook. It's really short, so it's going to take you maybe, a half an hour to get through and then get to implementing. All right, let's go into today's episode. It's going to be short and sweet. I have 5 patterns for the summer here for you on my list. It was kind of hard to narrow it down, honestly. Most of them are made from cotton yarn, which is honestly my favorite for the summertime because it keeps you cool. And what I really like is also the stitch definition because it's not very fluffy. It's kind of a crisp, clean yarn. So it has that clean stitch definition, which I love. So nice. Most of these, or actually all of them, are made in either garter or stockinette stitch with minimal shaping so that it doesn't take long and that anybody out there who is still a beginner and is kind of like, oh, I don't know if I can actually take on a project like this. It's super easy. It might take a little bit of a learning curve for you, but that is also part of the process in our craft that we're doing here is that you sometimes have to learn something new. You might have to Google or YouTube a video where a stitch or a pattern or something is explained that you may have not done before, or that you have done, but you just don't remember how to do it. I do that all the time, happens to me a lot. In fact, I just had to really pay close attention to a crochet pattern last night because I had never done it before. So I was like, okay, let's be very thorough here and read it over and over. And I just kind of went along with it. I had to undo it, I think, once. Thankfully, just once. But those are things that help us, redirect our mind to something very specific, to something that requires focus. And it helps us hone in on just that moment. So it's all part of that mindfulness practice that the knitting has in store for you. Of course, we always talk about the fact that, mindless knitting is also great for relaxation. Of course, absolutely. But a mix of both, I think, is great. And a small challenge for you as a beginner, I think, is wonderful to grow as a knitter as well. So let's go into my 5 beginners patterns for summer that I picked. Again, there's tons. There's so many. But I just picked a few. So some of them I've made. Some of them are still on my list. I'm going to let you know which one. And let's dive in. I have all the links ready for you too in the show notes, so you don't have to write anything down. They're all going to be listed down there as well. But I'm going to tell you what I really like about them. And the first one is the Pyrite Tank from Two of Wands. If you missed the episode where I interviewed Alexi from Two of Wands, the designer behind the brand, go back to that episode. It's only 3 episodes ago, or 4. I'm going to put it in the show notes because I don't remember right now. But listen to the interview I had. It was so fun to interview her, and you just kind of hear some interesting details that are behind her designing process. But this tank I have not made yet. I've had it on my list, and I have the yarn for it. I'm going to make it in this slate gray 24/7 cotton from Lion Brand. But I just really like it. It has kind of like a rib up, like a rib pattern, I guess, but it's wider than the regular 1x1. So it looks really different than what you would expect. So when you go and click the link, you'll see what I mean. And it has a really interesting and nice shaping around the front and the collar area. It's super pretty. I can't wait to make it. It looks really crisp in that cotton. And again, I'm making it in a slate gray, which I love that color anyway because it just goes with everything. I like color too. I'm not just I got to wear black and gray. I do love me some colors, but I also like just a timeless piece in a gray that can go with anything that I have. So this one is going to be so fun. You can make it in a long version or regular length, or you can make a crop version of it, up to you. And the next one is called the Dill Tea, and it is from We Are Knitters. I have actually knitted this one a couple years ago. I think this was maybe my 3rd or 4th garment that I've made since I started knitting again in 2020. And it was my first one in cotton, I believe. And it was so fun to make because it has 3 different textures combined. So you have like a ribbing stitch at the bottom, and then you have just a flat stockinette, and then at the top you have a stitch called moss stitch, but it's still only made with the knit and the purl, which you combine a certain way, and then you get this beautiful texture. So it has all those 3 textures in the t-shirt, and it just is so much fun to knit because you have that variety in it. I made mine in a sage green color, and it is hands down one of my favorite shirts. What did happen though, and this is maybe something important for you to know as well when you pick that up, I found that when I knitted the size that I thought I needed based on my gauge and, size, it turned out it was getting a little too stretchy, and it's a little bigger than I would like for it to be. So the next one I'm going to make, which I have totally planned because I just love that shirt so much, I'm going to make in one size smaller. So just keep that in mind when you make this. Next up on my list, I'm actually making the second version of this one already because I do love it so much. It's called the Streamline Tee, and it also is by Alexi from Two of Wands. The Streamline Tee is really neat because it's kind of lean. I think the design was coming from the Art Deco architecture in New York City. So you see kind of like the lines of the Empire State Building and the Chrysler Building built into it. It has this like stacked rows in the front. It's a V-neck shirt, so there's a little bit of a of a challenge in there as you do that little twist in the front to make the V-neck shape, but it is such a gorgeous knit and is so easy because she explains it so well. And it uses one of her personal, like her own yarn lines. So this is not a cotton, but it is 100% synthetic yarn that I absolutely love, and it comes in the most gorgeous colors. So go ahead and check that one out. The Streamline Tee, highly recommend. You can wear it into the fall and combine it with, a denim jacket. It's just beautiful. And I made the first one in like a mustard color, and the second one I'm making in slate gray. I do like that color. I do like slate gray. All right, the fourth one that I have on my list, I have not made, but it has called my name from the second I saw it, and it's relatively new at the time of recording this, which is in June. It's called the Sherbet Wrap, and it is made by Angie from Whistle and Wool. She makes the cutest designs. Love them, love them. I'm currently actually I'm test crocheting. I'm getting used to saying that. A bag for her, which she designed, and it's so, so cute. But this Sherbet Wrap is, as far as I know, I don't think it's cotton, but it may have a cotton blend in there. I'm not 100% sure, but it's like a more of a fluffy textured yarn. Super cute. It comes in different colorways, and it's kind of like a speckled yarn. So you actually achieve a fun look with different colors in one yarn ball that you're getting. So there's different versions of that, and just pick your favorite one. But it's this cute little wrap that you basically put around your shoulders, and it'll just go down to basically like your elbow length. So it just wraps around your shoulders, and it keeps you warm on like a cooler summer night. I absolutely love it. It's so funny because I had been looking for something just like it, and I just couldn't quite find one that I really liked. And she came out with it, I want to say last month, so in May of 2024. And I was like, wow, there it is. It's perfect. I'm not quite sure which yarn I'm going to use. I have a couple here at home that I might try out for it. If not, I'm going to go with the one that she recommends inside of her pattern, which I just described to you. So go ahead, check that one out, the Sherbet Wrap. Can't wait to make it. And I'm pretty sure that's also going to be suitable to wear into the fall, depending on where you are. But here on the East Coast, it's, nice and warm well into October. So I can't wait to make that one. The last one on the list, it's funny because yes, I have made it, but no, I have not, because I haven't finished it. So I'm done with the first half of it. I still have to do the back and the sleeves, and it is the Kayla striped pullover. I literally had this one as a pattern. I bought this pattern and the yarn for it probably 3 years ago. Yeah, at least. It caught my eye one day. It's from Happy Love Co. She's on Etsy. She's on Instagram. I'm going to just pop all the links down there so you can find these guys. And it is so cute. It's a cropped sweater. It is long sleeve, but it is made from cotton. So I'm envisioning having it, for like a cooler day or a cooler evening, or even, like I said, in the fall. It's just so pretty. And again, like I said in the beginning, anything knitted with the cotton has that crisp, those crisp lines and definition of the stitches. And because this is a striped pullover, it just kind of comes out even more. And it has two different textures in it. So you're knitting a little bit of flat stockinette, and then you have a garter in there as well, which gives it different textures and the different striped colors. I just love making it. It's so fun because you have that variety. You're mixing colors, you're mixing patterns and structure. So it's never boring to make that one. And I can show you this one you may have seen it on my Instagram. I have like 5 or 6 things going right now that I'm doing at the same time, which is why I haven't finished this one yet. But it's really cute. I picked different colors than I had first envisioned, but I'm really happy with the ones I picked. So I'm definitely going to share this one again on my Instagram so that you can see it as well. So all of the ones that I listed are so gorgeous. I have a bonus one. If you like crocheting, or if you want to get into crocheting, I find this pattern super simple. I'm not a huge crocheter, but I really enjoy the actual craft. Sometimes I'm just not so happy about what it looks like. So it really has to be the right pattern for me to be like, yes, I want to make this. And the Costa Market Bag from Two of Wands, we talked about it in the interview with Alexi because it was brand new at the time, is definitely one that I would highly recommend. It's also made with the Lion Brand 24/7 cotton, or with the DK Light version, also 24/7 cotton. Those two, it's just slightly lighter than the other, but you can use either one. And it also comes in 3 different sizes. And it looks like like the French market totes that kind of like stretch out. So you would put like fruits and vegetables in there, and it has relatively big holes. So you can't put like lip balms in there unless, you put them in a smaller pouch and then put it in the bag. But I'm seeing mine to be used for beach trips, or, to carry my book and maybe my sunglasses, things like that. Just, larger items that go in that bag and that you don't mind people seeing from the outside. But you can literally also take it when you go grocery shopping and put larger items in it. And it is a fun, about to say knit again. It's a fun project to make. I absolutely love making it. I'm still totally in the middle of it, but I can't wait for that to be done. So that's definitely a bonus one that I'm also going to put on the list for you to click in the show notes as well. All right, so this is it. I hope you are going to make one of these. I truly, truly hope that you're going to challenge yourself to make one of these, even if you feel like, oh gosh, I don't know if I can do anything beyond just a straight, scarf. If that's you, don't worry. Just dive in, see if you can make it happen. Come into our community, the Knitting Mamas community. You can go there. You can go to the link bit.ly/knittingmamas, so bit.ly/knittingmamas. And you can join us in there. You can ask any questions. We hopefully are able to help you. But in any case, I always highly recommend to ask the designer of the project or of the pattern for any help if you need it. In fact, I just did this last night because I had some questions, and they're always so helpful, and they want you to succeed. So I only pick patterns to recommend where I know that the owner of the pattern is helpful and is going to make sure that you have the best experience. So rest assured that that's the case with these ladies. And I can't wait to see your creation. So when you tag them, please also tag me, because I would just love to follow along and see what you're creating. All right, you guys, have a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you next week in the next episode. Hey mama, I hope you've soaked up some great ideas from today's episode. Remember, a happy mom makes for a happy fam. If today's chat hit home with you, it would mean the world if you could leave a 5-star written review on iTunes. Your review will help other moms discover our community and embrace guilt-free self-care. Also, if you're scrolling through Instagram, why not snap a screenshot of this episode for your stories? Don't forget to tag me at The Knitting Mamas so that I can shout you out on my page as well. Plus, that way we can stay connected and spread the self-care magic. Oh, and have you heard about our cozy Facebook community? It's a guilt-free zone where we share relaxing routines, essential oils, and knitting adventures, and so much more. Come join us today at bit.ly/knittingmamas, and let's unwind together. Until we chat again, take care, mama. And remember, looking after yourself is not selfish. It's essential for that balanced life. Catch you soon right here on the Knitting Mamas podcast.